Today we're drinking Bulleit. Thomas E. Bulleit dreamt of bringing back the Bulleit family's old bourbon recipe. This dream was realized in 1987 when he opened the Bulleit Distilling Company. This bourbon has a mash bill of 68% corn, 28% rye, and 4% malted barley. It comes in at 90 proof. We paid $29 for this bottle with a general price of $28, but your prices may vary. This bottle was funded and requested by our supporter, Bobby. If you want to fund and request a bottle, you can do so at our Buy Me a Coffee link down below. Thank you and enjoy.
Thanks, Joyce. Let's dive in and see what these two think. I know what we're drinking today.
I'm getting like a pungent fruit.
What makes it pungent?
What makes it fruit?
I don't know. I've been gone for 5 weeks, so cut me some slack.
My thing is, I'm picking up the pungent.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that it's fruit. Nope, that was fruit.
I could definitely see some sort of fruit. I think I'm just going to go in for a taste in hopes that'll help my nosy notes.
Ooh, that is sweet and spicy.
I got a little bit of hug from it.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, getting like a bit of a caramel apple, a little bit of pear.
I'm getting like a sweet bread. That's a pretty decent finish.
It lingers.
It lingers. It makes itself known.
Gets a little dry at the end.
Yeah.
A little astringent. I'm not sure if I like that or not. I'm leaning towards the like it.
So I'm going back to the nose. The main thing I'm getting isn't necessarily fruit. Right now it's just it's baking spices popping out to me. I'm trying to get past those to see what else we have underneath. Just briefly got a little bit of a juicy fruit.
Like juicy fruit gum.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was smelling too with the pungent. And maybe it was just a mixture of all the spices together, all those baking spices giving it a bit of a pungent aroma.
It smells like it should be oily.
But it's not.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it is.
Great mouthfeel.
But not oily.
Right, not oily.
Do you like oily as a mouthfeel?
Sometimes, but I think in this case, an oily mouthfeel would kind of ruin this whiskey, and I kind of like the dry texture that I'm getting from it. And I think that pungent aroma that I was getting is actually allspice.
Did you add water?
I did. It seems to have taken some of the spice off of the nose. Like the sweetness is there. The spice seems to have kind of
Flattened.
yeah.
I might not like that then. I liked the spiciness in this. I'm going to have to find out for myself, but
Adding water, that is disappointing on the palate.
it does really bring out that juicy fruit aroma.
What happened there?
On the palate?
It left like a waxiness on the back of my tongue, on the back of my palate. Like not like an oiliness, like a waxiness. Like I did, like had like melted candle in my mouth.
Like chewing those wax lips.
Better before the water was added.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't add water to this. We've tasted this enough, so we're gonna dive into some ratings. Since I already know what this is, we're gonna start with Keith.
I found the nose to be very complex, almost perplexing. A lot of that might be my distance away from the camera from you all for the past several weeks. But I really enjoyed it. It was mysterious. It was great in getting those flavors out, figuring out that it was actually juicy fruit gum. I think it might be allspice that I was getting, which may have been why it was very complex in the spiciness. And that's a note that I really liked on the nose. I'm giving this nose a 3.5. I would have liked a little bit more flavors to come out. Palate, I thought was very good. I'm going to give that a 3.5 as well. What you got on the nose is what you got on the palate. And I kind of like that in a whiskey. I'd like to know what I'm going to get. The finish, I found it to be a little bit dry, but I thought that was a good finish for this whiskey. And I also thought that the timing on the finish was perfect. I'm going to go with a 4 on the finish.
On the nose, I'm going to give it a 3.5. I thought the nose was very inviting. I loved every note that I got. Falling through to the palate, I'm giving it a 4 on the palate. I think the palate was just very well balanced. All the notes complemented each other very well. It was excellent. And then on the finish, I enjoyed that nice medium long finish. I thought it complemented the palate, brought all the right notes continuing through. It did get a little dry for me, so that's why I'm giving it a 3.5, a step down.
I'm just giving this 3s across the board. It was very consistent all the way through. I didn't think there was any necessarily faults. There was no faults in it, but it wasn't impressive. It was just a very good, well-balanced sipper, nice and even across the board. With the ratings in the book, we're going to move on to our guesses. We want to know what kind of whiskey you guys think this is, what you think the proof is, how much you think retail is, and what you would be willing to pay for this bottle.
You go first.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been away.
Yeah.
You got to get back into it.
You need that screen time.
I think, I'm going to taste it again. but
Go for it.
added water. But wow, after it rests with the water, it's not that bad.
It's still not as good as the first time, though.
I'm going to go with Canadian on this. I'm going to say it's actually a higher proof. I'm going to go around 90. I'm going to say retailed at 15, and I'd pay about 15 to 18.
I'm going to say this is Irish. This is too good to be a Canadian, which tells me it's probably Canadian because I think that. I'm going to go with Irish. I'm going to go 86 proof. I do think it's just a little bit higher proof. I think this retails right around 18 to 20. I'd probably pay 20.
So those are our guesses. We're going to move on to the reveal. But before we do, if you like what you're seeing, please give us a like down below. Now, the bottle. You said that you thought it was an Irish. You said you thought it was a Canadian. You were both wrong.
Yes, we were.
You thought it was a 90 proof whiskey. You thought it was an 86 proof whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
You were correct. It's 90 proof. You said you thought it cost 15.
Right.
You said you thought it cost 18 to 20.
Yeah.
It costs about $28.
Wow.
Oof. Ass.
Today, you both drank
Unless it's going on my shelf to show off.
Bulleit Bourbon.
Interesting. I did not get that typical bourbon.
See, I got there's some bourbon-y notes, which is why I went Irish over Canadian, because for some reason, it's better than a Canadian.
Okay.
So it has to be Irish. I didn't think it was bourbon, though.
No, I did not think it was bourbon.
It comes from the Bulleit Distillery, which is owned by Diageo. I don't think that Bulleit Distillery is currently actually distilling it. I think someone else is actually distilling it and they're bottling it. That's something I did not get a chance to look up. But this bottle comes from one of our followers, Bobby. Bobby donated some money to us and asked for this whiskey to be reviewed. So, Bobby, thank you. So we paid $29 for this bottle, but generally cost $28. And I bought it on sale.
Wait, I'm confused.
Yep. I bought
It's typically $28, but you paid more than $28 for it
retail,
on sale.
The general retail price in the country is approximately $28. Pennsylvania, the MSRP is $31, or not MSRP, but the retail price in Pennsylvania is $31. It was on sale for $29.
Understood.
I recommend, if you're in Pittsburgh area and you want to buy this bottle, just hop on over to Ohio where it's all the time 26. Ratings from around the web. Distiller gives this an 86, Whiskey Advocate an 87, and Wine Enthusiast 93. So this actually has gotten some higher ratings. I thought it was fine before water.
Yeah, before water is just much better than with water.
This is definitely not a cocktail mixer.
But it's like in the higher end of our budget, and I just don't think it's worth...
And that's why I went, pass, as soon as you said 28. Nope.
Well, you guys were also debating if it was maybe Canadian. So
well, yes.
That's our review. If you like what we're doing, give us a like down below. Give us a comment down below if you have any questions or want to say anything or call us out for something. I don't know. Let us know what you think of this bourbon, if you think it's worth the price tag that it has. Until next time, may the winds of fortune sail you.
May you sail a gentle sea.
May it always be Bobby who says,
This drink's on me.